What up, YouTube? We're gonna show you guys how to replace a caliper on E36 BMW. All right, guys, first things first, you're going to need a 17mm socket. You're going to need a crazy part, Allen key. That's a 7mm. That's what actually takes off the back two screws that actually hold the caliper on. So that's it right here, see? And we're gonna get a little turn for you guys so you can see. All right, that's what undoes those. So, and then pretty much we have this keeper right here that sits in here. See, and that went this way. They used to sit in there, keep everything all tight. You just pop that out with a flathead, boop, comes right on out. There we are. That's what that looks like. It's pretty crazy looking, but it's got a dust boot that sits on top of it as well, and it usually keeps them in case. So that's why it looks pretty like it does, which is a good thing because, you know, all that road grime and everything makes it super tough to get off if they're not in case like this. All right, almost there, folks. Oh, there she goes. Number two's out. All right, so at this point, you're gonna need to get a little leverage. So with a flathead or pry bar, and it'll come through. We're gonna get this caliper out of there. Since it got a little hot today, it's gonna be a little stubborn. So it might not be very orthodox in the way I get this off, but it's gonna work. All right, get a little leverage. See, she's a little tight. Ooh-wee. Do the same thing, keep working it back and forth until it comes out. I know my arm's in the way, sorry guys. But it's almost there. I'm gonna come in here now, give it a little pry. Nope, didn't go. Let's go to the top. There. And I'm gonna keep working it back and forth until it's almost there. All right, guys, there we are. That's that pretty caliper. One thing you would like to do with a caliper, don't ever leave them hanging because it puts unnecessary wear on your brake lines. You know, potentially a split the line or anything like that when you just let it hang. So the easy way of keeping it from letting it hang, get a coat hanger, untie it, wrap around one of these control arm pieces and let it hang there, but not by the actual brake line itself. One thing that I did is bust open the bleeder screw, and I literally bust it open, but unscrewed it so I can make sure fluid was coming out clear, because sometimes these old lines, when they disintegrate, they actually will get gummed up, and instead of being a stuck rotor or stuck caliper, it actually will be the brake line. But in this case, we're not having that problem. So that tells me that the caliper is bad. Sorry guys, we lost the light, the battery died. But you're also going to need a 14mm wrench, and you're gonna have to go, when it's in like this, you gotta push against you, all right? So the only reason we're doing this is because gotta get that off to put the caliper on. One of the things I did, guys, is leave the cap on so we don't lose a lot of fluid. We're gonna lose some fluid, no questions, but it shouldn't be too crazy. And it's easier just to hold it and twist it by hand. Yeah, it's kind of awkward, and I know if you were doing this on the ground, it would be a little bit of a bear, but this is what we have to work with, so this is what we're gonna do. The brake booster cap is still on. This is all, you know, you're gonna get some trickles, and this is not too bad. All right, guys, here's the brand new caliper. Look at that. Caps on it, the dust caps. New bolts, everything's greased up, ready to go. Look at it, look at all that petroleum grease in there. That's beautiful. That's what you want. So the exact same procedure, guys. We're going to make sure that's in the threads, lined up good, and we're gonna spin her home. Almost perfect. All right, so we're gonna take this wrench now. Let's get it the rest of the way. So let's get this kind of where we want to be at. All right, let's go a little bit more. All right, let's go a little bit more. You definitely want it to be snug. There's no questions there. So, you know, as long as the line's not getting bound up too much, it'll be good. You got the caliper here, you got the brake pad. Kick your bucket out of the way. You don't want any situations happening. All right, so we'll set that in there. You know, it's gonna dance around on you. There's nothing you really can do about it besides line it up and just try to get her home. So, at this point, all right, girl lined up and ready to go. All right, top one's pretty much there. Bottom one just lined up, perfect. So
Let's get these pretty much hand tight right now. And what I'm gonna do is put the sensor back in. I didn't show you guys taking that out, but it's super simple. All right, so right there's where we're gonna stop right now. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is put this piece back in. So guys, this is what we're gonna do. This bracket sits on the outside here. This piece of lip goes in. Come down here. It's got a snap in here as well. There we are. So look at that, just like factory. Not too hard. Everything's on there, it's stable. Look at that, we got a free spinning wheel again. So at this point right now, I gotta bleed it. We're gonna lower the vehicle a little bit. I'm going to take the other wheel off and we're gonna bleed the front two wheels. There we go, see how it's floating? That tells you got enough in there. So right now we're gonna tighten this back down and we're gonna crack open some bleed screws. We're gonna bleed the front two brakes. All right, guys, if you don't have the vacuum tool that you normally would use for help bleeding brakes, you will need a second person. So I'm gonna have my man Tyler here behind the camera. Get in there and pump them brakes. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, hold. And at that point, I'm gonna bleed. So I'm gonna have him pump it up really hard, give him good 10, 15 good hard pumps. And I'm gonna hold it to the floor and I'm gonna crack one open and it's gonna be bleeding them. We can show the part of bleeding it out, but we're done. Make sure you tell your friends about us, tell your family about us. Please like and subscribe. And we got so much great content coming up. You know, we're into everything. Europeans, we're into German cars, we're into Japanese cars, American cars, everything. Your boy Rico, your man Tyler behind the camera. We're WhipGetters, we're out.